Okay, picking up from the last video on adding Forest Pro objects. Just to let you know, we've done a couple things. I was playing with the reflectivity of the glass and trying to get a better look. Not sure it's an improvement. Looks like I'm underexposed right now, so I probably want to change that for the next rendering. But the last thing we did was add the grass, and it started to put the grass in, but there's a few things. That was the default click, but it's doing a couple things. You can see the grass looks like it needs to be edged everywhere. Forest Pro is scattering these little circular pieces of grass around to make the yard. What we want to do is change it, change a couple options on there. So with our grass highlighted, the first thing I want to do is go into areas. Again, we're on the surface area, that's on. We want to go down to boundary checking edge. That's, let me click my select button up here and hit edge. So we have to do that, and one other thing to clean up that edge. We have to go into material and we have to optimize materials. While we're in here, I'm going to give it a little bit of a random tint, 10 to 30%, let's say, which will mix up the material, make it more believable, hopefully. We're going to optimize. We make sure that Apply Forest Edge is checked and click Optimize. Yes. Now, as we do a render, we should do a region render. Just to check out, select this, and let's just do a little area here to make sure it clean things up. There you go. You see you've got cleaner sidewalk lines and at the curb now as well, as soon as it finishes. The other thing I want to do, that default grass looks to be 5 or 6 inches straight up or taller. I like to tone that down a little bit. So I'm going to go into transforms, and I'm going to go into my scale transform, and I want to click this XY version, and I have to click my select button again. And this is defining my Z separately now. So I want to say, instead of 100% tall, I want to go from 65 to 70%. I've got to autosave. Autosave. So 65 to 70%. And now I'm going to do a render of just that little area. And again, I changed the perspective of the render just so we could see more of the grass in the garden for this exercise. And now that grass looks like it's been mowed. There's a mowed grass version in there, but I like this better. So that's what I use. And again, I'm just doing a little region at a time. The other thing I need to do, and this isn't a good view to see it, but in this surface transform, grass is something you want the normals to go, you want them to grow in the direction of normal. So I actually want to go in here and type 0. And what that did, again, it's hard to see. Maybe in this viewport we could see it. If we go all the way to up, you can't really see it, but if you don't do this, then you get flat pieces of grass and they appear to step down the slope. We're actually, in our rendering, we're looking down the slope, so you're not going to see it as much, but trust me, do this. So we've got our grass in there. I'd say the last forest object we need to do is maybe to put some mulch in this garden. Again, that's very similar to the grass. Which, by the way, while I've still got this grass selected, I want to do two things. I already changed the V-Ray properties to 0.01 on the subdivisions to speed up rendering. And I also want to go to display and change my local density to like 5%. This will hog less video memory while you're working. These forest objects can really slow things down if you don't do them right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new forest object. I'm going to go into my presets and go into mulch and pick the very first mulch and import it. Click the mulch bed, limit to areas, Yes, yes. It's going to take a second, but now again, just like the grass, I'm going to rename this to mulch. Just like the grass, I'm going to go into surface, and I'm going to tell it to align the normals. I'm going to go into areas and say edge, and then I'm going to go into materials and optimize materials. I'm not giving it a tint. It's mulch. You wouldn't notice anyway. But again, apply forced edge, optimize, yes. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another render and see what's left to work on here. Alright, so we re-rendered it. I changed the windows again, and you can barely see the mulch we just did, but you can see the grass is cleaned up everywhere. The one thing I'm seeing now, as I change the perspective, I'm seeing a gap between my land back here and the HDRI. And to me, that needs to be broken up with some bushes or something under this tree line, low scrub or whatever. Just something you never think about, but you always want to add to these renderings to block the background. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to start with this forest tree object, and I'm going to clone it to a copy. It's going to take a second because it's sort of copying all the geometry. And I'm going to rename it forest, we'll just call it background bushes. I'm going to go ahead and isolate that object so I can see what I'm dealing with. Again, it's a copy of the trees right now, so what I want to do is go change the geometry. So I'm going to delete one maple and go into my library here. Go back to my HQ catalog, my plants. If I start typing bush in here, I happen to know that these bushes are pretty big. They're maybe 4 or 6 feet high or something. I use these sometimes to do the background. So I'm going to import these. And again, it's still got the maple, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go into my perspective and look at what it's doing with the bushes. That's good. I'm going to unisolate it to see how high they are in relation to the trees. And from what I can tell, they're almost doing the job. But I'm going to scale them up a little bit. Now they're really going to block anything. The bushes are at the base of the trees. I want to change that, so I'm going to go into my distribution map and simply make that map smaller, which is going to make my bushes more dense. So honestly, they've already got transforms in there for rotation. What I may do is, let's do a little region preview. They should have that V-Ray subdivision modifier already on it, so it reduces the rendering time. So you can see those bushes are blocking things. They're probably a little big. Also, I don't want them out in front of the trees necessarily, more like underbrush within the trees. So what I'm going to do is isolate that object again and simply go into my areas and try this little eraser tool. And I'm going to, let's see, maybe I have to not be isolated. I have to go into this paint object. I don't know what to do there. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is erase these paint objects and go ahead and just do a new one. We're going to make this 50 feet wide, and I'm going to go into my top viewport and stay towards the back of here. Looks like they need to come up this way a little more. There, I just want to stay behind the front of the tree line. Let's get out of that paint area. Render that again. See if it pushed it back anymore. Okay, they're back in there. I still say they're a little big. So I'm going to go into geometry. They're both highlighted. And take this down. And that about finishes it off, I guess. You know, a lot of renderings, you'll see a shadow of a tree going across this driveway. That's actually harder than it appears to make happen, because like you have this shadow line coming at a pretty steep angle. You have to have a tree pretty close to here. I mean, we could certainly add another tree to try to give us a little shadow. I could
well, now in this particular case, they have. Oh yeah.
So I'm going to select this object, hit my 1, and add a tree here. I'm going to move that tree as close as I can go. I don't necessarily want it in the picture. Maybe a little bit, but again, you're going to see why. Not a lot. These trees are great in the background, unless you really hone the material. Sometimes they're a little unrealistic in the foreground.
Still tall.
I'm going to do a region render.
It's pretty steep.
Autosave. Come on, autosave. Probably turn that off for this tutorial. The autosaves get longer and longer as you add forest objects in there, because their geometry is in the drawing and it's saving it each time. I haven't figured out how to get it to reference it in and not save it with the drawing. I'm just going to render the left side of the drawing here. See if it gives me any kind of shadow line there. And it did, and I don't think you can see the shadow line starting to happen. Go ahead and pause this and do the full render. All right, we've re-rendered this, and this is our foreground tree we just added, and it really puts some nice shadowing on the house here. You know, I may choose to not render that object and then to Photoshop in this later and still get this shadow. But I'd say this series is pretty good. I mean, this is a pretty complete render. You could add people and cars and birds if you want, but I think we're done with this one. Have a good one.